No, I think that's I'm pretty sure we're gonna do 10s and 20s in the next episode, guys, because we are going to spend a lot of time in this next category.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm not even
So where are we at?
We finished defense. I think okay. So quick recap for the 2000s. I think we weirdly unanimously agreed on Czech. John Terry and Rio Ferdinand has been a 50-50, but that's unsurprising because it's a debate for the. And now from 50-50, I'm pretty sure we are now going to go on to 33, 33, and 33. If we actually had adequate representation from a Chelsea fan, it would have been straight down the middle. But because we are where we are, midfield, Abhishek, I think
But I don't think
answer.
it is going to be 33.
It won't.
Yeah, I
It
think
would
everyone knows my answer.
It's going to be 66-33. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is fine. I mean, it's completely fine because it's right. It's true. But yes, no doubt about it. The number 8 at Liverpool who carried the club through all of our obscurity or bad days entirely. He carried the hopes and dreams of the football club for 15 years. Definitely. Number 8, Steven Gerrard, best midfielder of the 2000s, and in my mind, the Premier League.
Fair shot. I mean, nobody's going to debate you too much on that. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, Mangesh, I'm very surprised. I'm not really sure. What is your answer here?
See, again, I mean, it comes down to 3 players. Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes. For obvious reasons, I'm always going to rate Scholes ahead of both Gerrard and Lampard. But at the same time, all those 3 players were perfect for their clubs. Gerrard was perfect for what Liverpool wanted at that time. Lampard for Chelsea and Scholes for United. What I like about Scholes was he could dictate the tempo of the game and how he transformed his game. Because if you remember in that 2002-03 season, Scholes played in the hole behind Van Nistelrooy and he scored 16 goals. Then when he started losing his pace, then of course he used to play along with Roy Keane or Nicky Butt in the center midfield as an attacking midfielder. Then he changed his game. If you recall, he had that eye injury in 2005-06 season, eye infection, in fact. And he started dropping deep and started dictating tempo of the game along with Michael Carrick. So I think Scholes was absolutely brilliant. So I'm not going to debate anyone if they say that they think Gerrard or Lampard are better than Scholes. But I think it's a fair shout. But I will always put my money on Scholes, no doubt. What about you, Rohit?
I agree. Honestly, I mean, if you'd asked me this question in say 2009, I would have been super passionate and angry and tried to give you like a 10-minute debate on why Scholes is better. But now that we have a few gray hairs in our beards, I think you hit it out of the park. They were great for their clubs at that point of time. Paul Scholes, when you have Cristiano Ronaldo and you have Wayne Rooney and you have Carlos Tevez and all these guys, if, say, for example, Steven Gerrard played in that team and he did what Steven Gerrard did at Liverpool, every United game would have been 8-4 or something. If you had Paul Scholes in that Liverpool side, or if you had Lampard in that Liverpool side, Liverpool would have lost every game because if Lampard is going to play in the 18-yard box, who was Gerrard's partner? Xabi Alonso, right? I would have left too much for Xabi Alonso to do, or for Dietmar Hamann or whoever else was playing defensive midfield. You put Paul Scholes in Chelsea, and suddenly you have Michael Essien and Lampard and Scholes all literally occupying the same areas in the midfield. So the only credit I will give, and as much as it pains me to say this, and as much as United fans will probably want to give me a massive kick up the backside, if there's one player who could have played in all 3 teams, it was Gerrard. Like Gerrard was probably the one player who had acceptability in terms of could I see him? Okay, I think Scholes, in my opinion, humble opinion, better passer than Gerrard. Did Scholes have the physicality of what Gerrard did? No. Lampard, better goal scorer than Gerrard and Scholes, 100%. But could you put Gerrard in that role that Lampard played and expect, or at least think he could play that? Oh, I think yes. So Gerrard was only the only player who you could put in those 2 teams and operate at 80%. So I'm going to take a slight different route here. So people talk about, say, why LeBron James is better or why Jordan's better or why Kobe is better, right? So the logic there is LeBron James could do 90 to 80 to 90% of what Jordan did. He could do 80 to 90% of what Magic Johnson did. He could do 80 to 90% of what Kobe did. Now, is that a better thing? Or would you have 100% Jordan, 100% Magic, and 100% Kobe? If I'm building a team, I would want LeBron. If I'm building a team. Because he's giving me a little bit of everything at a good level, rather than giving me somebody who's great at one thing. I'm not remotely suggesting Lampard and Scholes couldn't do what he did, but purely in terms of being a guy that can just fit in, plug and play into every team, I think he was better at that. Doesn't make him the better player, but definitely makes him a player that can do that job in many other teams, not just that role.
And we also
I think
have
it's
to
going to
remember
be a very
Gerrard used to play.
controversial. Sorry, go ahead, Mangesh.
No. So even we are forgetting Gerrard also played in the hole behind Torres, and he was
That's
excellent
what
in
I'm
that
saying.
season,
That's what
2008-9
I'm
season. So yeah, I mean Gerrard was world class, no doubt about it. But we also need to talk about Xabi Alonso.
What a player.
Xabi between 2004 to 2009 was one of the best players in the league. No doubt. Especially Abhishek, let me know if I'm getting this right. For 2004, 4, 5, and 5, 6, Alonso was excellent. Next two seasons, he was good, but he wasn't as good as his earlier two seasons. And that 8-9 season, I thought he was Liverpool's best
Outstanding.
player. He was
He
Liverpool's
was the
best
player
player.
of the season
Remember?
when he left.
Tell him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Abhi,
When he
say
left,
something
he was the best player.
by the way.
Sorry, what?
I think you were about to say something about a controversial opinion before we moved on to
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso.
Because I thought I heard you say that you would pick LeBron James over Kobe and Jordan, which I
I
think
would,
is that what you said?
yeah, I would. I stand by my opinion. I would.
Yeah.
If I'm building a team, I pick LeBron over both of those guys.
I think that's a very controversial opinion, and even though I don't follow basketball that much, but I'm pretty sure that people who do are going to 100% disagree with you. Well, it's the same debate, right? It's exactly the same
Yeah,
debate that we
yeah.
are going to have about. But coming back to our debate, yeah, I think what you said, Rohit, is correct. Gerrard could play anywhere. He is the most versatile of the three midfielders. I think so because we always think that Scholes had a few like he couldn't tackle. That was a running joke always, right? That's Scholes and tackling all the time.
He couldn't
And
actually.
Lampard was great going forward, but Lampard was not. Gerrard was a box-to-box midfielder. He used to cover for Haman. He used to do what Haman used to do. He was able to pass the way Alonso used to do, and he used to score. He was able to score like Lampard did for Chelsea. He could do everything. Like you just look at the Champions League final. He played in four different positions in that one final. And for that reason, I mean, if there was something like he was a central midfielder, but he would not get that many goals. And yeah, of course, he played behind Torres. It was that partnership. He used to play on the right. Rafa Benitez, when he came in, he put Gerrard on the right, which was an amazing decision. Gerrard in his early years, right, when he started at Liverpool, Danny Murphy was more advanced, and Gerrard was
Yeah.
more of a central midfielder, and he was an yeah. So my choice is always going to be Gerrard over in any of the eras. If you give me any midfielder, right, I would take Gerrard over definitely.
But I would disagree just on that point because I would never take anyone over Roy Keane, and it's biased. I fully agree. There's no right or wrong. But
Yeah.
I hear you when you say that Gerrard could do what he did, and I love Scholes. I will still pick Scholes purely out of I've grown up seeing that guy. But to talk about all of the eras, man, I would never take anyone. I
I
wouldn't
mean,
take Pirlo and these guys over Roy Keane. I wouldn't take anyone over.
I think we are
See,
all
and a
biased,
lot of
and it's always going to be that way.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
yeah, but a lot of that comes down to coaching, right? At the same time, just imagine Scholes with coaching at Scholes being coached at La Masia. Just imagine Gerrard being coached at United. See, Gerrard's that one flaw that he had in that game was he could not control games. As Alonso started doing that for Liverpool. Gerrard wasn't a
He
controlling
could
manager.
influence
So he
games. he could
He
influence
could,
games.
of
Yeah,
course.
but
But
again, what you said is a good point. Gerrard never had a world-class coach. Rafa Benitez is the
yeah,
only thing that came close to being a world-class coach. And
yeah,
even though he never had, and that's what, when Gerrard talked about it, he left the same season Klopp came to Liverpool. Like the same season that Klopp came to Liverpool is the previous summer he left. And he's like,
yeah.
I wish I would have stayed at least for a couple of years, but I would have experienced what it was like to work under Jurgen Klopp. But you have to keep that perspective that Scholes coached by a world class manager, Lampard coached by Jose Mourinho, world class. Jose Mourinho wanted
Lot of
Gerrard
world class
everywhere.
managers. Yeah,
Had Yeah, like Mourinho had Lampard, but he wanted Gerrard at Chelsea, he wanted Gerrard at Inter Milan, he wanted Gerrard at Real Madrid. You know, but that's the thing. Who was the world class coach that? Because England never had any world class coaches. Maybe Capello is the only one you can say was a really good manager. Benitez
Roy,
was a great manager for Liverpool. Yeah, Royals. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, to that point, I still think that sometimes I think about it that maybe there was another level that he could have gone to, if he was coached by someone like Mourinho. Because Mourinho did that. Mourinho, very few coaches have that ability to take a player and take him to that next level. And Mourinho was one of those, like Jurgen Klopp was for us. But Gerrard never had that sort of manager.
can I play devil's advocate very quickly? If you talk about Gerrard being coached, right, I have a different opinion. I think it was good Gerrard wasn't coached. Because if you try to put Gerrard into a system, if you try to play him in a system role, I don't think he would have been effective. You want Gerrard. See, every team has one. United had that in Wayne Rooney from 2006 to 2012, where there was no system for Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do at whenever he wanted to do it. So if you put Gerrard, say, I'll give you an example. If you put Gerrard in a Barcelona midfield, right, I think he would have shot himself in the head if he was listening to Pep Guardiola saying, "Oh, this is the space you wanted to occupy, and these are the kind of passes and touches." He's not a system player. Steven Gerrard needs to be. I'm gonna be a right back putting in a tackle. 6 seconds later, I'm gonna go down the left wing. After that, I'm gonna make a run into the box. So I don't think Gerrard needed to be coached. He was just a, as we said, like a blood and thunder kind of a player. So I'm not sure if that
Yeah,
coaching would have helped him or would it have taken that edge away from him as a player.
yeah, that's actually true. It would be possible because it's exactly what Lampard became, right? Like, Lampard was an out and out attacking midfielder only for Chelsea. And maybe you could, but because what you said about Gerrard is 100% true. He used to do everything. Like he was a proper box to box midfielder, and yeah, you never know. I mean, what could have happened had he worked with a manager like Jose Mourinho who would have limited him to a certain role. But again, he could have also worked with a manager like Jose Mourinho could have also identified. He's a world class manager. He would have obviously known that what Steven Gerrard is like. Maybe he could have adapted his team accordingly as well. So you never know. But you know, it's but yeah, for for me, yes, I think our answers are always going to be divided in this
Yeah, and
section.
fair enough. I mean, fair.
Yeah.